Hey, how's it going? Great. So today we're going to work on this idea of putting the mind, getting the mind inside the body when we're doing our practice, when we're doing our forms. This is a super important aspect of our practice. A lot of times when we're learning the form, our mind is really kind of stuck in the head, right? And where is your mind? If you think about, when I think about my mind, like if I think of me, I'm going to do something today, where is that location in your body? For me, when I think about, I'm going to teach a video today, I'm thinking like in here. I have kind of the classic idea of, like a guy driving from looking out of the window, and then got the set of headphones on. I'm listening both sides. So that's kind of where I'm thinking of where my mind is located. For some people, their mind is located at the heart level. And so wherever your mind is located, it's really, it's up to you. It's just, everybody has a different, maybe your mind is down here, wherever that is, it's okay. So, but wherever that is, what we want to accomplish when we're doing our practice, we want the mind to be engaged in the whole body in our Tai Chi Chuan practice. That's a pretty, might be a weird concept, but yes, this is what we want to accomplish, is the mind wants to be absorbed into the entire body when we're doing our practice. So we're not just doing our form like this. Now, when we first start learning, we're learning the movements, right? We're learning how to do the dance. And so learning how to do the dance, learning how to do, we're going to have to use our, just be up here, because we're trying to think, this hand goes this way, shifting weight this way, stepping this way. We're having to learn the basics of the dance. It's the same thing that when we're driving, when we're learning how to drive, maybe first 6 weeks or so of learning to drive, hands on the wheel, gas, brake, and a clutch. We have to learn the extra foot with the gear shift. But we're going through all the steps, looking in the corner, looking back, check this window, check that mirror, hold on, look left to right, don't run anybody over. And so we're constantly here, right, trying to learn how to drive. After years of driving, we achieve what we can call gong, which means skill, or we have a natural skill, a natural ability of driving, where we don't even really think about driving, even though it's a very technical, a very incredibly tricky thing. We get to the point to where we don't even have to really think about driving anymore. We're just doing it. And then comes the other things where we're drinking coffee, we're talking on the phone, listening to music, talking to friends. So all of these other activities are happening when we've established this driving skill that we've obtained, right? This is the same thing with our Tai Chi practice. Until we are at the point to where it's just naturally flowing, and we've obtained that gong, the skill, where it's just going and flowing. We don't have to be completely mindful, like thinking cognitively about which foot goes where and how the weight shifts. Then it's very hard to get the mind through the whole body. So to begin with, don't worry about it too much. However, there is a way of doing it that we can learn from early on. And let me show it to you. The way that we do it is that we just break it down, chunk it down, into just doing one or two moves, and then bring the mind in through the body, okay? First of all, let's work on the idea of bringing the mind into the body. How do we do that? Let's go into our Wuji posture. Okay, good. So remember, we float the bones, sink the flesh. If you want to learn more about Wuji, this video here will show you more about what it's about if you haven't done it before. But let's allow ourselves to go into Wuji. So we sink the mass, sink the flesh against the bones. right? Feel everything is opening up. And now what we want to do is I want you to imagine that your body is a huge sponge. So wherever your body is, imagine that you had a big sponge, a big dry sponge there. So with that big dry sponge, I want you to imagine that there is liquid coming in through the top of the head. Okay? Wherever that liquid is that you feel, I want you to imagine that that is your mind. So that liquid now is coming into the top of the head, and I want you to imagine that liquid just comes to your eyebrows. So it's covering from the eyebrows, this whole top of the area of the head, the top of the skull. So put your mind wherever you feel that sponge is absorbing that liquid and it becomes heavy and dense and it's sucking in the liquid. Put your mind, let that be your mind. Feel your mind is occupying that part of the head. Now allow it to come down past the eyes, nose, and I want you to fill your whole head with that liquid. Allow the sponge to absorb that liquid through the whole head area. Are you able to do that? Just let it go. It takes time. Don't worry. Don't get stressed. But we want to allow the mind to be absorbed into the whole head. So if somebody was to ask you, what does your mind look like? You could tell them, my mind looks like the shape of my head. All right? So that's your bringing your awareness of your mind into your head. See how this is going to work? And now I want you to allow it to come down to the neck. And now spilling down into the shoulders, so the sponge is absorbing that liquid. Good, and now down into the chest. Down through the arms. Keep absorbing. So the mind continues to expand through the body. Into the diaphragm, into the guts, the stomach, into the elbows, the forearms, the fingers, the palms, into the hips. Good. Just feel it expanding. Now going in through your glutes, groin, down into the thighs, your knees, calves, shins, and the feet. So once you've obtained this idea, where your mind is occupying from the tip of your head all the way down into your fingers, into your toes, then your mind is being held within the body. You have your mind in the body. This is what we're looking for when we're doing our practice. We don't want to be just here or just here. We want the mind through the whole body. So when we do our practice, that's where the mind is existing, through the body. Now this takes time. It's pretty easy to imagine our mind inside of our head, right? Or to allow the mind to be absorbed into the head. Allowing the mind to be absorbed into the hands, into the arms, into the legs is pretty tricky. It takes a lot of time just to keep doing this practice and to allowing that to happen. So with that in mind, let's look at the very first part of we'll do the 24, right? We're just going to do the opening sequence and the first move. So forget about this let's just go back into the body movements. Let's just look at that first sequence of the 24. We have our feet together. Remember our circle? We have that circle. Big deep breath. And exhale, we just think, okay, here we are. We're in our, this beautiful day, beautiful place, park. And wherever you are, just take a big deep breath. I'm here in my body. Yes, great. Okay, good. So that big deep breath. Now we start to sink the mass into the right foot. Sink it, sink it, sink it until the left foot is nice and light. We step out And now we shift weight and we go into our wuji. Wuji. Good. And now we do our opening, commencement, and exhale down. Good. And now we shift all the weight into the right foot, sink it into the right. We step back with the left, and we part the wild horse's mane, heading in this direction. Okay? This is not really a tutorial about the 24. You should already know this. If not, then, we just kind of just have fun with it. But anyway, if you know the 24, you know that's the first move. So it's not much, right? It's just the first part. We're going from here, just physically, step out, hands come up and down. All the weight sinks into the right foot, so you can lift that left leg, you step back, and then you open, parting the wild horse's mane, going this way. Now, let's do the same thing, but now we're going to put the mind through the whole body. So here we go. Spend that time to allow the mind absorb. Remember the sponge? We're letting it absorb through the body. So just take some, however long it takes, it's okay. For the sake of time, I want you to imagine that it's just your mind is fully engaged and absorbed in the whole body. All right, so now with that in mind, now we sink the mass to the right. We step out with the left. Keep the mind in the body the whole time, through the whole body. Good. Have it come up. Keep the mind. Don't just get shifted to the arms. Keep the mind in the feet, in the top of the head, through the whole body. Feel it. Good. Sink the mass to the right. Keep it in the whole body. Even though it's being sunk into the right foot, keep it in the whole body, stepping out, parting the wild horse's mane. How did that feel? Feel different? So this is the way we do it, is that you don't have to, learn the whole form all the way through and then, learn this and then do it through the whole form. You just take little pieces of it, even if it's the first part. Put the mind in the body and just work on this. The opening, commencement. This you can probably do the first day you start to practice. Just that. Don't even worry about the other part of it. Just doing that, being mindful, having your mind absorbed in the body is going to really help your practice, all right? So hopefully that's helpful for you. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.